A lot of traders underestimate the power of using trend lines to be an advantage or an advantage confluence when you're having a particular entry model that you use or a particular strategy that you use. A lot of traders underestimate this a lot, and in this video I'd actually be covering how you could actually take advantage of trend lines to catch different kind of entries and different kind of moves all through the week on gold. My name is Svnday and I'll be your host for this one. So the last past 2 weeks, we've seen lots and lots of opportunities in the market, whereby price has actually presented a lot of fake outs, a lot of great rally moves, and all of that. A lot of moves have been presented. So, in this video, I'll actually be using the key activities and the key movements that have happened in the last 2 to 3 weeks, and then show you how you could actually take advantage of these particular moves, probably with the way price action played with this week that just closed. So without any further delay, let's jump right into it. So what I would love to do is I've already done everything on the chart already, so I just actually switched off the visibility, but then I would want to just explain basically everything first, or the concept or the thought process behind how I was looking at the market already the past 2 to 3 weeks, and then we'll bring back everything up and I'll just briefly touch those entries and just explain so that you actually get the best out of it. If you have any questions, you can actually leave them in the comment, or you can actually directly DM me on Twitter or Telegram, any of that. So I'm very, very active and I'll reply you. So without any further delay, let's go up to the 1 day time frame. I would love to use the 1 day time frame because the 1 week time frame has just been looking more or less bullish in some type of way. But then I want us to look at what happened at this point here. Price actually rejected from this level with a very long week. Actually, price rejected with a very long week, which was actually a very good sign for buyers, which is actually indicating that price is actually still very much bullish. And after price did that, price came back and picked up buy orders from somewhere around this point, and then gave a full body close B above this high. Already, this is actually a very, very clear sign that price is actually bullish. Already, this is a clear sign that price is actually bullish. And where you would actually be looking that price would actually continue buying from the higher time frame point of view is that price is going to hold this region here within this discount level and use that way to push up higher. And you could see what happened. Price came back, tapped within the discount level, and then the next candle that formed was actually trying to push up higher, but the next thing we saw was a full body close below this low. Already, most sellers now we think that okay, this is actually an indication that price is bearish, so they would start chipping their bearish orders in so that they could actually sell the market low to this full body close here. But then this was actually a whole setup that would actually trick most of these sellers now, and you could see what happened next. Price gave a full body close above this high here, which is a clear indication that price may actually be cooking to chase 80H again. So if I should turn on everything that I've covered here, you would actually see that I'm actually marked out these points here. I actually marked out this same point here that I was talking about, and you could see how price came back into this point and all of that. But then while all of this is happening on the 1 day time frame, you could actually get more advantage of getting lots and lots of opportunities when you go down lower. So let's go down to the 4 hour time frame. I would love us to focus more on the 1 hour, but let's go down to the 4 hours time frame first. And when we come back down to the 4 hours time frame, we could see the points whereby price rejected from here, and you could see the whole break of structure from this level, and price coming down to pick up orders, then pushing up higher, giving full body close above this high, price coming back into this point, and that stuff that happened whereby price tricked those sellers in. So let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. I'll be sticking more to the 1 hour time frame so we can actually get a better understanding of everything that happened. So we'll actually start from this particular, I think this should be the second week of February or so. This was after price gave a break above this high at this point. What happened here was that after price maxed out, gave full body close above this high, price sold off. And when price sold off now, most buyers now that were able to get their buys from this level this was actually a very good level, and most buyers that were able to get their buys from this point, we're actually expecting that these buys from this level will be able to break and close above this high and push up higher. That's break and close above this level here and push up higher. But then notice what happened when price got to this point. That was actually what started to build up this whole bearish trend line that we could actually see from this level here. When price got to this point, price attempted to break out of this level. You could literally see this candle, this rejection candle that was actually trying to hold off price to sell off down lower. But then the only way this would have worked as a way for price to push up higher was if something of this nature happened at this point here. If these bullish candles actually closed above this wick here, and the next thing we would get beautiful entries that would push up higher. But then notice how this actually failed. Instead of the full body close above it, above that wick there, let's zoom in a bit closer. Instead of the full body close above this wick here, we got a full body close below, which is actually a very, very clear indication that price is going to use this guy now as a way to sell down lower. And you could see it left us this FVG at this point, and price came back into it. You could easily use this as your entry. And this actually presented itself as like the first trade with the market open for the week that just closed now. And you could see price tapped into it, sold off, giving another break of structure. If we go down to the 30 minutes, let's go down to 30 minutes so you could actually see that, giving another break of structure. Another price did that. You could, because of the fact that already you could see that price is still trying to respect this level, and marking out these trend lines, you will easily just mark out these points that price kept on rejecting, where we kept on having the lower highs. I don't know if you are very conversant with that, because most times a bullish trend line would form whereby price is creating higher lows and higher highs and all of that, and the bearish trend line will form when price is actually creating lower highs and lower lows, and that's exactly what was going on here at this point. And you could see what happened next. Tap into the first trade here, sold off, giving us a break of structure again, and price came back into the discount level. And when we look closely into the discount level into the premium level rather, when we look closely into the premium level at this point, you could actually see that I think I have a video in the last recap. I had a recap video that I dropped some time back whereby I spoke extensively about this particular entry model here. You could see the full body close above this wick that was rejecting, but instead of price to come back to hold this candle as well to push up higher, you could see that price sold and closed full body close below this guy here. This is a clear indication that price is going to inverse that whole entry model as a way to sell off lower. And you could see this was actually the idea or the concept behind why I actually marked out this trade here, and this trade actually cooked up beautifully. And a very, very sweet target or a very, very sweet spot will be the previous week low, which was sitting at this level. It's a point of liquidity. And if I should take this trend line to here, from those buyers that got those buys from this level here, you could see what was going on here. We were having another bullish trend line that was actually trying to form to attempt breaking out of this level, because of the fact that we kept on creating higher highs and higher lows. But then after price tapped into this guy, picked our entry at this point, we saw a break out of that level. And after price did that, next thing we saw a very huge sell-off, a very huge run down, because already everything that was happening here was just liquidity build up. And that's actually a very, very good sign for our bearish trade, because you cannot especially when price is tapping or for playing around the the edges or the body of the trend line, you can actually go in there and then trying to play a very opposite kind of trade, or a very opposite type of structure trade. Is going to actually probably burn you if price is not actually going to break out of that level. If price breaks out of that level, then it's actually going to be in your favor, because most likely price will just pick up more orders around that level and keep on pushing. I don't know if you get me, but that's actually the basic concept behind how you take advantage of all of that. And most times you see the trend is your friend. This is actually very, very important when you are trading this, because the trend is really your friend. If you try to keep on buying before the signal actually changes up, you'll actually get burnt, because everything that was going on at this point was just price trying to retrace so that it could pick more orders to clear out liquidity at this point. And you could see our second entry point gave us that. And after price sold off from this level here, we could see if we should take our flip tool again from with this break of structure at this point, you could see that price actually tapped into our discount level again. So price tapping into our discount level, we could actually get another entry that was down towards Tuesday. The same thing here, price tried to reject to push up higher, but the next thing we saw, full body close below this week here. This is clear indication that price would most likely use that level actually to sell off, and you can see what happened next. Price sold off aggressively. This was actually a very, very beautiful sell down London session on Tuesday, and price sold off beautifully. And the same thing again happened after this sell off. We had another break of structure again. If you take our flip tool again, point of break of structure here, price came back into this level here. You could easily mark your entry at this point, and you could see another sell off here. When stuff started to change up here was when, if we should come, let's go up to 1 hour, directly from the 1 hour time frame here. Let's look at this. We could see that we had this candle that was trying to reject at this point to sell off lower, but then price gave a full body close above this level. This is actually a very, very key order block at this level. So if we should take 50% of this candle, we could actually easily see it there. That's 50%. We could use our flip tool to actually mark that out. We could use our flip tool to mark that out, and you could see our 50% level sitting at this point here. So if we mark out that level there, after price took out liquidity from the previous week low, this is actually when you should actually start to be looking for a trade that could actually completely switch markets, because price has actually taken out a very major liquidity, and that's actually exactly what happened at this point. And notice what happened when we got our TP at this level here. If you take your entry from this, because this is actually taking the marking from, because you could see we had the break of structure already from this point here, but the other block is sitting at this level here. So if we mark our other block at this point, you could see price already triggered from late NY on Tuesday, and it still triggered down towards early Isha here. Another price triggered that trade from our other block at this point. We could see the beautiful and aggressive move that pushed up higher. Let's go down to 30 minutes. I want us to sit down more on 30 minutes first. And when we come back to 30 minutes, you could see that this trade actually triggered, I think, as early as market open. And let me take this out so that we can actually see how price kept on playing on the level first. So after price triggered this level, price bought up. Remember, this level is already a premium level. That is where you should actually be. Most sellers are looking for their sales. And if you take our flip tool, you could see it right here. That is our premium level there. So you could see after price triggered the bullish trade, the bullish reversal trade, or the market switch trade, I would like to say it. And please take note of this particular order block here that we marked at this level. If you haven't checked that video that's actually covered that up, you should actually do that and try to check it out, because that entry is actually very, very associated with market reversals or market switching for a major trend. Most times, probably before a very huge major sell, we could actually see that entry actually playing out up before price actually gives a very major bullish move. We could actually see that actually play out first. If you are doubting that, you could actually backtest or check the charts more and see that. Or if you've been following me, you should actually know that I use that a lot. That's actually one of my key entry models. So you could see what happened from this level here. Price came back into the discount, the premium level here, and tried to sell off. But then after price tapped back into that other block again, we could see a very bullish move that closed above this point. And you could see I actually marked out a rectangle at this level. I will be wondering what exactly I was marking out at this point. Notice what happened with the first rejection after price took liquidity from previous week low. We could see that we had a break of structure around this level, and we had our other block sitting at this level, and you could see price actually tapped into this other block and gave the bullish close above this high. But then price was still playing within the premium level of this particular move here. So price gave a full body close below that other block that was sitting at this point, and tried to use that way to push up higher. But then notice how price, after this fall of back into this entry, price gave a full body close above that other block, and price reclaimed that level towards when it held the trend line points here, and it came back into it. You could easily use it because this is actually a very, very, very simple example of when resistance is used as support, and you could easily take your entry from the entry point at this level here and easily keep your stop below the low here of this point here. And you can see price actually used that guy as a way to break out of this bearish trend line. That was actually the key behind this break out of this bearish trend line. And when we come down towards Thursday, because all of this happened on Wednesday, when we come towards Thursday, early Asian session on Thursday, we could easily see this breakout block here. But then there's something I would want us to take note of. Remember, I said from the daily time frame, this was where this particular line here, I don't know if you could remember. Let's go up to 1 day so that you guys could actually see it. That line there is actually where most swing buyers were actually trying to hold buys from this level so it's push up higher, and then price gave a full body close below it, whereby it was trading below that level, and that level kept on pressing price down because price actually closed below it. But then this breakout now, instead of price to come back here to tap into the this breakout block that was sitting at this level, price first encountered some bearish pressure due to the fact that this guy is sitting on a HCF already. So it encountered some bearish pressure, but then price was able to give a full body close above this level, leaving us with this FVG here. My expectation, when I was trading this particular week, I totally did not pay attention to this particular level here until after somewhere around this point here. That was when I started to give more attention to it. I was actually expecting that price would actually fall back down a bit lower to this point that price broke out of, but then this level was key. This point was very, very key. You could see already a lot of stuff happening around this level, and one way you could actually help your confidence is when you tend to notice what's happening at some key levels, especially on HCF. Try to notice what happened on those key levels because they are very, very important, and that's why most times probably price might miss your entry or keep on pushing up in one direction without picking you. So notice what happened. If you are taking your trade, this is actually the key level because price has been able to break above it, and you could easily take your trade from the point whereby price feels this FVG here, and this would be a very, very sweet spot. And this is actually the whole concept behind why I actually marked out this trade right here, because regardless of everything that was happening at this whole Thursday, the market was very, very choppy on Thursday, was just moving in a very sideways kind of trend. But then regardless of everything that happened on Thursday, now this would be your key entry level here. This would actually be your key entry level, and that was actually the confluence behind why I called this out. But then the first trade that I marked out towards early Thursday at this point was just basically due to the fact that price has tapped back into filling this FVG, sitting on this HCF flipped resistance level, and then we have this candle that tried to reject for price to push down lower. We saw the full body close above it. We take 50%. Our entry is sitting right here, and you can easily target this high, and price actually delivered that perfectly before we got this move. So all of these moves were actually what brought us down to Friday. And on Friday I had an expectation that it's either if price is able to successfully close above this region here, above this 50, 17, 50, 19, 20 level, then most likely price will actually use this as a way to push up higher, because already there's no indication that price will actually sell off coming back to pick orders from this point already because of the flipped resistance level on the 1 day time frame. So a full body close above this region here would actually fall for a move that would actually take out this high, and actually drop that on the community channel. I don't know if you could actually see that. If you're not part of the channel, you could actually use the link in the description, check it out. I actually dropped it, and when we got the full body close, I think early London, you could easily mark out this beautiful entry, and price actually bought up aggressively from that point on. And I know that with the market open now, most likely price would take out this high or probably just pick up more orders from this level, somewhere around this point, and then keep on pushing, or just keep on pushing from this level here. So this is actually what I expect to see with the new week. If you haven't joined the Telegram channel, you could easily use the link in the description to sign up. You could actually check out my affiliate link with Svnday Pro, so you could get the best discounts and best opportunities that you could actually take advantage of. So the weekly loop video is also live. I highly recommend you check that out, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. So thank you for watching.